In 2074, Earth is dominated by two powerful corporations, Kobayashi Electronics from Japan and Peel Robotics from the USA. They're locked in a battle over control of the cyborg industry, which has replaced humans in every area, from soldiers on the battlefield to workers in all other industries. As usual, greed for profit has led to chaos. At an investor demonstration, Kobayashi showcases a new product, an alluring woman cyborg named Drina, who suddenly explodes, taking her partner with her. As firefighters clean up the scene, the creator explains that Drina was infused with a unique explosive called Glass Shadow, which is undetectable and highly effective. Drina only contained 20 milligrams, but their next model, a cyborg named Cash, will carry a dose of 100,000 milligrams. Designed to appear and feel fully human, Cash can experience emotions like love, anger, and crucially, fear. She'll be sent on a mission to the Kobayashi board, where she'll explode, causing their stock to plummet and allowing PIL to take control of the planet. Meanwhile, Cash trains in hand-to-hand combat and easily defeats her opponents. Her last opponent, trainer Colton Colt Ricks, stirs a strange, unfamiliar urge to kill in her, but the rules of robotics prohibit her from acting on it. She also feels another unidentifiable emotion toward him. Eventually, she releases Colt and asks him about her former roommate Drina, though he doesn't know her whereabouts. Soon after, Cash is led away by security for the Glass Shadow installation. An observer named Mercy monitors the procedure and, seeing Cash's progress, stops the test, feeling she needs a human protector to succeed, just like Drina did. Later, Cash secretly meets Colt in the hallway and hands him a matchbox. Mercy appears on a nearby screen, promising Colt his assistance. Colt finds a note in the matchbox with a time and place to meet in the lab. Conflicted about breaking the corporation's strict rules forbidding cyborg contact, Colt decides to take a nap, but is reminded by Mercy of the meeting. Colt heads to the lab, where Cash introduces him to new monkey cyborgs designed for espionage. Mercy explains his extensive network and control over the monkeys, showing them Drina, who is severely damaged. She warns that Cash is next and reveals the explosive mission planned at Kobayashi, which will cost Cash her life. Realizing the urgency, Colt and Cash decide to escape. As her absence is already noted, they make their way to the third level, encountering and defeating guards along the way. Cash finds an exit through the elevator shaft, and they descend to the nearest ventilation pipe. When more guards arrive, Cash shoots them, and with Colt's help, escapes via a garbage chute. Climbing over the fence, they flee the facility. Later, Cash encounters a broken TV, through which Mercy communicates again, warning her that she's been activated. They have about 9 hours to find a solution. Mercy advises them to find a car and head to a location he'll provide, where they can wait for further instructions. Meanwhile, back at the facility, Security Chief Dan dispatches cyborg assassin Chen to pursue the fugitives. Dan plans to capture and reprogram Cash to ensure she completes her mission to destroy PIL's top officials. He informs the leadership that capturing Cash is essential to prevent exposure, as she's the first cyborg driven by human emotions. If captured, it would mark the end of Project Glass Shadow. To track down Cash and bring her back unharmed, the corporation hires a merciless bounty hunter and assassin named Bench, who agrees to the task but insists that Cash must be delivered intact. Meanwhile, Cash and Colt arrive at their destination. Colt stays in the car while Cash goes into a building, which turns out to be a nightclub. Her mission is to find someone named Lucky. A guard invites her inside, and while she waits, Mercy appears on the car monitor, warning Colt of the approaching killers and mentioning how it's surprising he's still alive. Inside, Cash grows impatient and heads to the second floor, where a fortune teller immediately recognizes her. The fortune teller offers Cash a job and tries to detain her. When her assistant jumps in, a fight ensues, ending with the assistant being electrocuted on a power block as Cash escapes. Outside, Bench captures Colt and drags him into an alley. Cash, not finding Colt where they agreed to meet, goes looking for him and ends up ambushed by Ench, who tries to restrain her with a noose. Although tied, Cash fights back. Bench brings Colt to a cluttered room, chaining him to an iron rod. While using various substances, Bench refreshes his skin with a spray, explaining he had to replace his face after a run-in with a cyborg. When Colt refuses to reveal Cash's location, Bench uses a blowgun to inject a substance called Third Eye into his eye, designed to infiltrate his nervous system. While the drug takes effect, Bench offers Colt a chance to rest. At the same time, Ench manages to capture Cash and prepares to reprogram her, but realizes she's loaded with explosives. Ench activates the explosives, frightening Cash, who begs her to stop. Ench agrees, but only if Cash reveals Colt's whereabouts. At that moment, Colt, believing Bench is asleep, escapes, unaware that Bench has placed a tracker on him. Colt and Cash search for each other and reunite on a city street where they wait for mercy. Colt shares his thoughts on humanity's destruction of the once beautiful world. He admits he used to hate cyborgs until he met her, fearing her creators as well. Moved, Cash kisses him, but they're interrupted when Ench appears from behind a column and opens fire. Colt dodges, and the two hide as Bench appears from another column, leading the two killers to argue over who gets to capture Cash, which quickly escalates into a shootout. During the fight, Ench recalls the acid Cash once splashed on her. Ench shoots the glass above Bench, causing shards to fall and injure his face. The confrontation continues, and Ench eventually tracks Colt and Cash to an apartment. As they clash, Cash joins the fight, and the two work together to try to defeat Ench. Despite their efforts, Ench proves to be exceptionally skilled. When she's about to kill Colt, Cash hurls her into an electrical room, where she is electrocuted. Finally escaping, Colt and Cash find an artificial dog waiting for them outside, which leads them to an underground location. A guard initially blocks their way, but lets them pass after recognizing them. On the surface, they meet a man with no legs who guides them to an old ship, wishing them luck as they board. In the control room, they're met with a screen displaying Mercy's lips. Mercy chastises them for their lateness, explaining that the ship he prepared for them has already burned down. Now, they'll have to secure a new boat and fund their trip by competing in underground fights. The only destination where cyborgs can live peacefully awaits them: Africa. Meanwhile, Dan contacts Bench, who informs him that the fugitives are likely near the bay and that he's now ready to kill both of them. Dan forbids him from harming Cash, but Bench, enraged by his newly damaged face, is beyond reason, vowing to kill them both regardless. Back with Cash and Colt, Mercy's assistant removes the tracking device from Colt's eye. Mercy comments on the futility of love between a human and a machine, reminding them that Cash can live for thousands of years, while Colt's life is fleeting. Mercy shares his story. He was once a fleet commander who was severely wounded in battle. To save him, the military remade him as a cyborg. He was a true warrior and had a wife, Velma, who also became a cyborg, but later escaped. Velma, in fact, was the one who burned Bench with acid, which is why Mercy is helping them now. Mercy suggests Colt open a nearby box, revealing wedding rings, and Colt slips one onto Cash's finger. They spend the night together, while Mercy mourns his lost wife. In the morning, Mercy wakes them and directs them to the pier for their next fight. When they arrive, Colt learns he'll be facing Bench. They meet in the ring and engage in a brutal fight, each proving to be equally skilled. As the fight progresses, Dan's troops approach the pier. Realizing he's losing, Bench pulls out a knife and wounds Colt, but Colt manages to push him into a fan blade, killing him. Suddenly, soldiers surround the pier, intent on capturing Cash, but not interested in saving Colt. One soldier injures Colt to force Cash to surrender. At that moment, a television drops in front of them, showing Mercy urging Cash to stand her ground for Colt. Explosions erupt around them, giving the couple a chance to escape. Mercy then confronts the remaining soldiers, eliminating them as Cash and Colt board a boat bound for Africa. As they sail away, Mercy is captured and brought to Dan, who shows him a detonator for Cash, intending to kill her remotely. But smiling, Mercy activates his own glass shadow bomb, completely destroying the PIL headquarters. Years pass. Cash and Colt live together, building a garden around their new home. Cash remains young and beautiful, while Colt grows old. When he eventually dies of old age, Cash, heartbroken, chooses to shut herself down, staying in a perpetual state of sleep. Despite being an older film, it still finds its audience, especially those who appreciate cyberpunk aesthetics and intriguing characters. It offers style, unique characters, and a sense of purpose. By the way, it's still pretty strange. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to show your support if you enjoyed it by hit that like and subscribe button. See you in the comments and in the next one.